Hey guys, Alex here. I want to give you guys who are going to be playtesting just a heads up about what you can expect to find on Friday. The build's basically ready. We'll just be, kind of poking at a few little remaining bugs the next couple days. But so first, when you load into the main menu here, I just want to make you aware you do have not complete control in the menu, but you'll be able to adjust your graphics presets here. If you got if your machine's having trouble running the game, two things that will make the biggest difference is your graphics preset here. You can just turn it to low or medium, whatever you need to. And the second thing is your vegetation draw distance. By default, it's going to be set to either close or very close. That actually won't really change the way the game looks a whole lot, but it will make a big performance impact. What's happening is it changes how far away grass and trees are drawn. Most of the time in the game, you're in pretty dense forest anyway, so you can't see too far. So, if your game's running a little slow, just turn that down and it'll make a big difference. The game's still really early alpha build, so usually like the real heavy optimization stuff we'll do kind of at the end of production. So just because if you're having a little trouble running the game right now, it doesn't indicate that the final game won't run for you. Okay, so you'll have one game mode. You will have different difficulty selections though. So you'll come here to new game, click new game, then you'll get your difficulty selections. Choose the one you think is most appropriate for you. I would recommend everyone to start with X-Ray because that one will begin when the sun's up. It also has the least amount of points. They all have a 4-hour time limit. That's 4 real hours. It's not like simulated, so it's 4 hours total. And you will be able to save and then continue. Now, be aware that if you start a new game, that will overwrite the previous one. You can't have multiple save files yet. So if you start and you're playing on X-Ray, and then you start another one playing on Bravo, that will overwrite the original one. So just be aware of that. So let's go ahead and begin. So I'll give you a kind of brief explanation about how the game mode works, how you can win it, how you can lose it. I would recommend, in addition to starting on the easiest game mode, don't worry about trying to meet that time hack your first couple times playing. Just kind of take it slow, experiment, just get used to using your tools, and just try to find a single point at a time, really. Don't beat yourself up if you are having trouble meeting that time hack, even on the low difficulty. The low difficulty still assumes that you know how to use your map and compass. As of right now, especially you guys who don't have any LANDNAV experience, it does take a lot of training. It does take a lot of step-by-step instruction, which these videos are going to help you, but it's not as good as actually having someone there step-by-step helping you out. And that's something that you won't get in this game until I actually build out the full-length tutorials. So I just want to give you that heads up. Don't just because you're trying really hard but you keep failing, don't beat yourself up. It does take a lot of practice, and it takes a lot of good instruction. Now, if you are super competitive and you're having trouble and you're like, man, I just if someone could just show me what to do, I'm certain I could do this. You can of course ask me questions on Discord. I'll help you out, and you can also go on YouTube. There's tons of any kind of land navigation tutorial on there. There's all sorts of military guys and stuff putting out tutorials where they explain in really clear terms how to do land navigation. Those will all help you because this is all the you're doing everything exactly the same here. The only difference is you're not actually walking. So when you load in, you'll have this welcome message here. Take note that your time up here is stopped. As soon as you click begin, the time hack is on though. So you got to hit the ground running. The first thing you'll want to do is your notepad has your list of control points on it. Notice that your start and end, the end point is always X-ray, are the same. That's this service tower. It's in the eastern side of the map. And when you finish and you want to get your control points validated, that you'll report here. You notice how it says interact. You'll click, and then the cadre will present your notebook like this. Any ones that you got correct will get a check mark to them. If you have any that are incomplete or incorrect, they'll just be left blank. So if you come up here and it goes through your notepad and some of them get checked but others don't, that means they're incorrect. So don't worry, it's not a bug that nothing's happening. It just means you don't have them correct yet. Also notice you can review your time hack and the report no later than time here. And if you want to see what time it is currently, press C, and it reappears up there in the corner of the screen. So your goal is going to be to find these CPs. Like I said, everyone has a 4-hour time limit. The number of CPs you have here will be dependent on the difficulty level you choose. You can reorder the CPs just by enabling your notebook and clicking and dragging them. But the order that you find them is totally up to you. Just whatever makes the most sense. They if our starting position is there and one's here, one's there, and one's here, even if this one is D and that one's A and that one's B, you can do them whatever order you like. That's up to you. Okay, I think that should cover everything. If you guys have any questions about the game mode, if anything's not clear, just let me know. Oh, there's one other thing though I wanted to mention. So each time you load into a game, you'll get a new list of coordinates. There's a total of 23 coordinates or control points out in the field. Each time, you're only going to get a selection of them, between 4 and 6, depending on what difficulty you choose. But that way, if you're kicking ass and you're having a good time, you can keep playing and you'll keep getting a new experience each time. One thing about that though, because the selection is somewhat random, it does mean some exercises might be a little bit easier than others, or harder. If you get some that are spaced pretty far apart, that will obviously be more difficult because you have more ground to cover, less tolerance for mistakes. However, I have made sure that it's always possible. You'll never get an impossible exercise, even on the highest difficulty. It's extremely challenging. Basically, you can't make any mistakes, but it's always possible. I've done a lot of testing to make sure it is. So there's your motivation. There's your challenge. If you're giving it your all and you just can't get it, you got to give it some more. You got to get smarter because it's possible. But even if you are failing, don't beat yourself up too hard. In this exercise, because this is just the alpha play test, this is more just about kind of learning what things people are having trouble with and trying to figure out where they're having fun, where they're not having fun, that sort of thing. It's just pass or fail. Once you run out of the time limit, it'll just say time limit's over, you failed, and you'll have to start a new exercise. In the full game, it won't be like that. Just because you fail a single exercise doesn't mean you have to restart it, or doesn't mean you failed the course. You can fail every single exercise and still make it through the course. Whether you pass or fail the entire course will be determined by a performance review at the end. So your total performance, which is more than just finding the points, the cadre are really looking at a lot of things about you. But so I'm just want to make that point that just because you aren't doing things perfectly, it doesn't mean you're gonna fail the course or that you should quit. So just keep going, keep doing your best. You'll have plenty of opportunity to continue improving as you go along, and that can almost be a good thing. If you start out pretty awful, but you show that you can learn and you're a quick learner and you can adapt, that can be a really positive thing too. So good luck out there, guys. Any bugs, any issues you find out there, definitely let me know. Nothing's too small. Don't think there's something that's too nitpicky to let me know. The game is made for the players, and you guys are the players. So don't hold back any feedback. positive or negative. All right, I think I've talked long enough. Thanks for your time, guys, and hope you have fun on Friday.